test today once again. In today's lesson, we're going to take up this subtopic, that is stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. This is actually from the same chapter, the very first chapter, that is some basic concepts. Some basic concepts of chemistry, right? This is the same chapter. Some basic concepts of chemistry. And the subtopic that we're going to take up today is stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. So now, as you can see here, stoichiometry deals with the calculation of masses, sometimes volumes also, of the reactants and products that are involved in a chemical reaction. So here we'll be doing calculations based on the reactions, chemical reactions. So to make things clear, let's just take up an example of a reaction. That is, you have CH4 methane combining with dioxygen to give you carbon dioxide and water, H2O. So now, here, this is a reaction involving the combustion or burning of methane gas, in which it combines with dioxygen to give you carbon dioxide and water, H2O. Now, when you talk about stoichiometry, as you can see it here, it deals with the calculations or calculation of masses. So we're going to deal mainly with masses here. Of the reactants. These are your reactants and then these are your products. So calculation of masses of the reactants and products involved in a chemical reaction. So this is the equation for this reaction involving the combustion of methane. CH4 is the formula of methane. So when it burns, you get carbon dioxide and water. Now, to carry out the calculations here, it's very important that the equation is always balanced. So to get the equation balanced here, you will first balance the number of atoms of carbon here in this equation. So you see, on the reactant side, you have the reactants methane, CH4, and dioxygen, O2. On the product side, you have the products carbon dioxide and H2O, water. So carbon, the number of carbon atoms, it is balanced one each on either side. And then next we try to balance the number of atoms of, say, hydrogen. It is 4 atoms on the reactant side, and you have only 2 there. To balance it, I put 1, 2 here. And now number of atoms of hydrogen is balanced on either side. And now the next thing is to look at number of atoms of oxygen. Here it is 2 and here it is 4. So I have put 1, 2 here. And this is now 2 times dioxygen. So now this is the balanced chemical equation for this reaction involving, that is, combustion of methane. It is in the gaseous state, so you put 1 G here in this parenthesis on the bracket. Here also 1 G and then 1 G here. Now, stoichiometry, since it deals with the calculation of masses of the reactants and the products involved in a chemical reaction, we'll now have to learn how to interpret this equation before we start doing any calculation. So the first thing that we're supposed to know is, like, you see there is this number 2 in front of your formula of oxygen. and here it is 2 in front of the formula of water, and in front of CH4 it is 1, and in front of CO2 also it is 1. Now these numbers you see 2, 2, here it is 1, it is 1, here also it's 1. So these are the coefficients, and here in chemistry we call these as stoichiometric coefficients. So the stoichiometric coefficients of these compounds or molecules or elements, for example, here oxygen here, they are, here the stoichiometric coefficient of methane is 1, that of dioxygen is 2, that of carbon dioxide is 1, and that of H2O is 2. Alright. Now, the most important thing here is to interpret a given chemical equation, a balanced chemical equation. Now, there are different ways in which this equation or chemical equation can be interpreted. Like now, the very first thing is you can say that 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 moles of dioxygen to give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of H2O, that is water in the form of vapor, that's gas. So 1 mole of, in terms of moles, right? So 1 mole of methane combining with 2 moles of dioxygen to give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of H2O. That is one way of interpreting it or understanding it or explaining it. The second one is, you can also talk in terms or interpret this in terms of number of molecules. So that is in terms of molecules. You can say that in this equation, 1 molecule of methane CH4 combines or reacts with 2 molecules of dioxygen to give you 1 molecule of carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of H2O, water. So that is in terms of molecules. The third one is again, see, talking in terms of volumes. See now, when I say 1 mole here, CH4, here is 1 mole, and here when I say 2 moles, there are 2 moles of dioxin. This 1 mole, this is again 2 moles. Now, having understood one thing earlier, see, 1 mole of a gas, 1 mole of, or you can say any gas, at STP, that is standard temperature and pressure, occupies or has a volume of 22.4 liters. So, this CH4, since you have 1 mole, here you can see that 22.4 liters, 22.4 liters. So, this is in terms of volumes I'm talking, right? Volumes in liters. So, you can see that since there is 1 mole of CH4 here, 1 mole of CH4 has a volume of 22.4 liters. And here, you have 2 moles of dioxygen. Since 1 mole of any gas at STP occupies that is this volume 22.4 liters, you have 2 times this, that is 22.4 into 2 is 44.8 liters. So here you should know that 22.4 liters of methane reacts with 44.8 liters of dioxin to give you, again the volume here will be, since it is 1 mole, it is 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide, and this again, since you have 2 moles of H2O, so each mole is 22.4 liters, so again 22.4 into 2 will give you, it is 44.8 liters of H2O. So this is another way of understanding or interpreting this equation. And the fourth one again, It can also be explained or interpreted in terms of masses. Now, since this is 1 mole of methane, this is 2 moles of dioxin, this is 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of H2O. And we know that the molar mass of CH4, 1 mole, when you express the mass of 1 mole of any substance in terms of grams, it's called the molar mass. So the molar mass of CH4, it is carbon, each carbon is 12 plus 4 times the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 into 4, it is, so 12 plus 4, it is 16, right? So the molar mass of 1 mole, that is methane, 16 grams of CH4. 16 grams of CH4 reacts to combines with 2 moles of dioxin. Each dioxin, 16 into 2 is 32, right? So 32 into 2, it is the, sorry, I put it this way. This is 2 times the molar mass of oxygen, dioxygen, it is 16 into 2, 32. 32 into 2 is 64, isn't it? So it is 64 grams. Now, 16 grams of CH4, you can write this reacts with 64, right? 64 grams of dioxygen to give, okay, let's see. This is again carbon dioxide expressing it, in terms of mass, that is molar mass. So the molar mass of carbon dioxide, each carbon is 12. And you have 2 atoms of oxygen, right? So 16 to 32, it is 32. It becomes 44 grams. So to give you 44 grams of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. The molar mass of water, 16 plus 2, 18. 2 times 2 into 18. It is 18 to 36 grams. So to give you, okay, 36 grams of H2O. So this is how, or these are the ways in which this balanced chemical equation can be interpreted or understood. So the first one, in terms of moles, if you talk, 1 mole of methane reacts 2 moles of oxygen to give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. Or in terms of molecules, you can say 1 molecule of methane combines with 2 molecules of dioxide to give you 1 molecule of carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of H2O. Or in terms of volumes, since this is 1 mole, so 1 mole contains 22.4 liters of STP. So 22.4 liters of methane combined with 22.4 into 2 times, that is 44.8 liters of oxygen to give you 22.4 liters of carbon dioxide and 22.4 into 2 times, 44.8 liters of H2O. So this is how you can actually interpret a balanced chemical equation. Now, before we start doing any calculations here, I just want to tell you that having understood these, you will see that the 3, that is mass, mole, and then molecules, they are sort of interconvertible. They can be sort of interconverted. Like if you know the mass of a substance, you can find the number of moles of the substance. And if you know the number of moles of substance, you can find out how many molecules are there in the substance, right? That's it. And if you know the number of molecules present in a substance, you can find the mole. And then if you know the number of moles of the substance, then you can find its mass. So this is how the 3 are sort of interconvertible as such. And now the next thing I want to tell you before we do any of these calculations is like the most important thing here is the mole, that is number of moles. See, there are 3 ways in which you can find number of moles, right? So the first one, I should say, is number of moles of any substance. can be obtained by making use of the molar mass of the substance, right? So you can write given mass of the substance, keep this in mind, given mass of the substance, you have to take it in grams, divided by molar mass of the substance, right? Divided by the molar mass of the substance. The substance may be a compound, maybe in the form of a molecule, it may be an atom or whatever. Okay, sorry, the number of moles, this is how you get it. And then the other way of finding the number of moles is, number of moles can also be obtained by writing the volume of a substance, right, in liters. Volume of a substance in liters divided by volume of that is 1 mole of the substance, that is gas in the gaseous state, 22.4 liters. So volume of the substance in liters when divided by 22.4 liters will give you the number of moles. And then the third thing is, again, we have something called the Avogadro number, right? That is 1 mole of any substance contains 6.02 to the 10 to the 23 particles. So number of moles can also be obtained by using this expression. That is number of, let's take molecules, a number of molecules of the substance, one number of particles of the substance you can take. Number of particles of the substance divided by the Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 raised power 23. And then you will get how many moles there, because this is the number of particles present in each mole of the substance, right? So the number of particles of the substance, right, maybe number of molecules, number of atoms or whatever, and when that number is divided by 6.02 to 10 to the 23, then you will get the number of moles of that substance. Okay, that's it. Now, having understood these, we will now carry out some calculations. So now, let me write down the question here. A very simple one. Find the number of moles of the following one. Let's see. Find the number of moles of the following. Okay, the first one, you are given, say, 50 grams of dihydrogen. The second one, it is 360 grams of H2O. The third one, you have 45 grams of C2H6. The fourth one, 1.44 kilogram of CH4. The fifth one, 460 grams of it is sodium. And finally, another example, 2.12 kilogram of sodium carbonate in the sulfates. So now, without taking much time, we'll just finish this. Now to work out this problem here. This is regarding finding the number of moles present in each of these different substances. So like the first one given to you is dihydrogen. That is, you are given 50 grams of dihydrogen. So let's see how we can find how many moles are present. So let's see solution 1. What you are given is, the first one is 50 grams of dihydrogen. Now number of moles is what you got to find, and you know this number of moles is given by mass of the substance in grams. I'm going to write the formula once. Mass of the substance, mass given substance in grams, right, divided by the molar mass of the substance, right? So the molar mass of the substance. Okay. So now the number of moles of H2O right here. See, mass of the substance given to you is 50 grams. You write 50 grams here. You will divide it by the molar mass of the substance. Your molar mass, the molar mass of hydrogen, that is dihydrogen, right? So you know that each atom of hydrogen raw has an atomic mass of 1, and multiplied by 2, it is 2. It becomes 2 unified mass. When you express this in terms of grams, it is the molar mass. So this 2 grams is the molar mass of dihydrogen. So you put 2 grams here. Gram and gram get cancelled. So finally 50 by 2 is 25. So now you can write therefore 50 grams of dihydrogen is equal to 25 moles. That's it. Now you can do the same thing for the rest. Like for example, how will you find the number of moles of water in 360 grams of H2O? You will find the molar mass of water, H2O. The molar mass of H2O is 18 grams. So you divide this number by 18 and you will get number of moles. 45 grams of C2H6. You find the molar mass of C2H6, that is ethene, right? So the second one is easy for you. The third one is also simple. You know, it is third one. Let's see, 45 grams, right? 45 grams of C2H6. C2H6 is ethane, right? Now what you need to know is the molar mass of ethane. So number of moles here in this case is you are given 45 grams as the mass of the substance divided by the molar mass of C2H6. Okay, it is 2 carbon atoms. Each carbon is 12. You have 2 times plus each hydrogen is 1. You have 6 times. So it is nothing but 12 is 24. 24 plus 6, it is 30. So 30 unified mass, 30. So when you take this in terms of grams, it becomes the molar mass. So it is 30 grams here. 30 grams is the molar mass of ethane. So gram and gram get cancelled. So finally you simplify this, you will get what? This is 15, 2 is 35, 3 is 45. So it is 3 by 2 is 1.5 moles. So this becomes the number of moles of ethane present in 45 grams of ethane. And you can do the same thing. Now here this is 1.44 kilograms of methane. Now when you have the mass given in terms of kilograms, you'll have to change it into grams. For that, in fact, you can multiply this number here by 1000 and you'll get this mass in terms of grams, fine. And this is simple, 460 grams of sodium. What is the molar mass of sodium? It is 23 grams, right? So you divide 460 by 23 grams, you will get the number of moles. Now this is the 6th one. I'll just work out the 6th one for you here. The 6th one is simple. You are given 2.12 kilogram of sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. You get 2.12 kilograms of Eg of sodium carbonate. The formula of sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. In fact, in one of my earlier video lessons, I think this in the second part 2 of my video lesson for this sodium carbonate, I had written NaCO3. That's a big mistake. I didn't know it. I thought I written it correctly, but it is Na2CO3 because the charge on carbonate, it is CO3 2 minus. And Na, it is 1 plus, right? You have just one positive charge, so it has to be Na2CO3 is the correct formula for sodium carbonate. In a hurry, I've written NaCO3 just because the example given before that was sodium chloride NaCl, so I'm writing it wrongly. So this is Na2CO3. So now here number of moles of Na2CO3 here in this case is given by the mass of the substance, that is sodium carbonate. You are given 2.12 kilograms, so this has to be changed into grams, so it is 2.12. You multiply by 1000, it becomes 21230 zeros, and then put this decimal point after 2 digits from the back side. It is 2120 grams. So this is 2120 grams divided by the molar mass of sodium carbonate. That's interesting. Sodium carbonate, each sodium atom has an atomic mass of 23. It occurs 2 times, multiplied by 2, plus carbon is 12, and then oxygen it is 16 3 times. So it's going to be 23 2 times is 46, plus 12 plus 16 3 is 48. So the sum here is 40, 50, 90, 106. It is 106 grams, right? So it is 106 grams. You divide gram and gram, get cancelled. So finally, when you simplify this, whatever answer you get here, that becomes the number of moles of sodium carbonate present in 2.12 kilograms. Let's try the data. Okay, 2 5s 10 2 3 6, 2 1s 2 0 2 6 12 0 here, and then 53 ones, 53 2 times it is 106 0, so it is equal to 20 moles. So now in 2.12 kg of sodium carbonate, you have 20 moles of sodium carbonate. That's it. And now we're going to work out some other examples, right? Maybe we'll try out this second question here. Okay, the second one is find the number of moles. Question number 2, find the number of moles of the following law. You can also find the number of moles of the following. So in the case of the first one, it is 18 into 10 raised to the power 24 molecules of H2 dihydrogen. The second one, I'll just work out the first one for you, and the remaining you can do on your own. 10 raised to the power 25 atoms of sodium. The third one here, 2.4 into 10 to the power 26 molecules of water. And then the fourth one, this is 7.2 into 10 raised to the power 27 molecules of carbon dioxide, right? So you're asked to find the number of moles of the following. So number of moles of dihydrogen in 18 into 10 to the power 24 molecules. So when you have that number of molecules of the substance, you can easily find how many moles are there. So as I showed you earlier, see, the number of moles can be obtained by using the molar mass of the substance, or by using this Avogadro number, or by using this volume 22.4 liters at STP, right? So now the first one for you, let's put this way, question number 2, I'll write this as solution, right? Solution to the first one, it is 18 into 10 raised to the power 24 molecules of H2. So how many moles are there in this? This is what we will see now. Number of moles here can also be obtained by dividing the number of moles, number of molecules, right? Number of particles. So it is number of molecules. Number of molecules, that is a given number of molecules, right? Given number of molecules divided by the Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 raised power 23. So here what I'm going to write is, given number of molecules, it is 18. Molecules of dihydrogen 18 into 10 raised power 24 molecules. This is what is given to you, right? Divided by this Avogadro constant 6.022 into 10 raised power 23 molecules. If it's molecules, this has to be molecules. So they get cancelled here. And this 18 into 10 raised power 24 molecules, you can write this as approximately 6 into 10 raised power 23. Right, molecules and molecules, they get cancelled. Actually, I've already cancelled the 2, so you don't have to write it again. So this is 6163 into 3 into 10 raised to power. This, when you take it entire, it becomes 1, right? So 3 into 10, that is 30. You have 30 moles. Now you can do the same thing for the rest, right? Second one, third one, fourth one, and so on. Very simple. So here again the same thing. You just divide each of these numbers by the Avogadro constant, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. And instead of 6.022, you can take just 6, what? Approximately 6, that's fine. And now we shall move on to the next problem. The next question for you is, in fact, now we're going to do a little more sort of interesting problem. Let's see, for this, the question is, calculate the question number 3. Calculate or find the amount of water H2O, that is water. This time the first one in moles, very simple, in moles, produced by the combustion of 4 moles of methane. 4 MOL is a unit of, that's a symbol for the unit mole, right? Mole of methane, METHANE. And the formula of methane is CH4, right? So now let's see the solution here. To calculate the amount of water formed, in this case, see, you have CH4 as the formula of methane. It's important that you write the formula, right? And that is the balanced chemical equation has to be written. Methane, when it undergoes combustion, it combines with oxygen to give you carbon dioxide and water. That's it. So now, to have the equation balanced, carbon 1 each, hydrogen you have 4 here, I've got to make it 2 here, and then oxygen 2, 2, 4, just make it 2 here. These are all in the gaseous state, right? So we write it this way. And now the question here is, calculate the amount of water amount in moles, because you also have to find the amount of water produced in terms of grams also, right? So first we're going to find the amount of water formed in moles. So amount of water produced by the combustion of 4 moles of methane. So as per this equation here, see, after the equation is balanced, then you can start your main calculation. See, 1 mole of methane produces how many moles of water? This is the standard expression now. It is always the same when you burn methane. Like 1 mole of methane will combine with 2 moles of dioxin to give you 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of H2O, right? So you can write here, I'm going to make it a little short, 1 mole of CH4 methane here produces how much? Okay, it is 2 moles of H2O, right? Now the question here is, how many moles of water will be produced by the combustion of 4 moles of methane? So when you have, I think directly, when you have 4 moles of methane, then it will produce what? 4 moles of methane produces Peter, let's take it as x. Now since this is a case of direct proportion, you can just cross multiply these two, and the unknown quantity is x. You put x here is equal to, it is 4 moles. This is 4 moles of methane actually, 4 moles of CH4 into, this is 2 moles of H2O, right? The whole thing divided by, this is 1 mole of methane, this comes down here. So this is 1 mole of CH4 methane. Now what happens? Mole of methane they get cancelled. So it is 4 into 2. 4 into 2, it is 8. You have 8 moles of H2O. Very good. Now here, since you have to find the amount of water produced in moles, that's it. Now if you're asked to find the amount of water formed in grams, you will have to now multiply this by the molar mass of water. In 1 mole of water you have 18 grams, so this 8 has to be multiplied by 18 grams. That's one thing. Now the next problem is,